60 and older. What is your biggest, should have done that differently, in life? What's the better way? I wish I had been kinder to my husband. We bickered about small things that really weren't important. I wish I could tell him how sorry I am. Almost a decade after we last had any contact through lawyers about our divorce, I just managed to track down my ex-husband to apologize for how things ended. It went surprisingly well, and the feeling of absolution really does lift a huge weight off your shoulders. Assuming he still is alive, there is always an opportunity to say you're sorry. I asked my 88-year-old grandma this, and she said to stop placing value on what other people think of you. Recognize this is your life and get on with it. Do the things you want to do. Pay yourself first no matter what. Don't do anything too much. Smoking, drinking, games, porn, anything in excess will hold you back. Learn to hostily deal with your emotions. Relax. This stuff isn't so serious. I'm 3 FAs done with life. Probably 20 more to go. 10 good ones, and then it will start to get rough. Don't chase after things. Be simple, eat simple, enjoy life. Stop being critical. Enjoy this brief time. I asked my 74-year-old grandma, and she said she should have had her husband wear a condom. My dad was 51 when he passed away in 2007 of colorectal cancer. He said he had 2 regrets. One was he should have left his job years ago. He said he was so miserable the last 5 years there. It was wasted time when he could have been doing something he enjoyed. His job was a small family company whom he worked for 23 years. They treated him like absolute shit throughout his cancer ordeal. Second was he wanted to ask a woman friend of his out on a date and never got the courage to do it. This was so sad because my dad never went out with anyone when I was growing up. He must have really liked her a lot. He was about 2, and because he got his cancer diagnosis it was too late. His words stay with me. I was unhappy with my workplace, and finally after many years will be moving on to a better position in September. Life is really too short. It took me a long time to realize that most people only do and say all the things they say and do to benefit themselves and their family. I'm seeing it. But as a teen relying on others to show me the ways of the world. It's hard not to take what everyone says at face value. Too many lies. Too much conflicting information. I know to do research on what I'm told before trusting it. Though, so there's that. I should have made better marriage choices. Don't marry too young, or if you do, just be really sure that you have the same values and same goals. If one of you doesn't want kids, for instance, that should be a deal breaker. If one doesn't like sex or intimacy, huge deal breaker. If she is a jerk to your friends and family, get out of that relationship. If she is never wrong or will never admit it, get out. And stay out of credit card debt. I'm 62. Do what you want and don't worry about what others think. Do you want to try that new restaurant but have no one to go with? Go alone and enjoy yourself. Overweight but not swimming because of how you look in a swimsuit? Who cares? Swim your heart out. Mouthing hymns in church because you sing off key? Sing loud and make a joyful noise. But most importantly, be kind. Regardless of how anyone treats you or what anyone says. Be kind. You can walk away, disagree, and/or not respect someone who doesn't deserve it. But do it kindly. Be argumentative or getting butthurt or cursing and yelling only serves to make you feel worse later. I wish I'd gone to the emergency room that day in 1991 when I had terrible stomach pain. I was a single working mom and didn't have health insurance. And I was afraid of the bill. I've suffered and nearly died a few times because of that bad choice. Worse, my children suffered and still do because of it. My 74-year-old mom answered, when I was in grad school. A teaching position in photography opened up and I didn't take it. I thought, gee, I wonder what would have happened? I don't know what it is. I had opportunities here, I just didn't take that one. Out of all of the opportunities, that was one that was staying in my area and that one seemed far away. I should have looked at the opportunity differently and researched it out. Single quote. 67 here. I've become a contrarian in many regards. Do the opposite of what the crowd does, and in many cases, not all, it works out. Also, take care of your effing ears. I loved loud music and pumped it into my ears through headphones for decades. Now I've got tinnitus. It's not awful, but I'm never going to experience pure silence again. Honestly, I am now glad that I lived life fast and hard. I'm paying for it health-wise, but I had fun and I did more good than harm. The future doesn't look bright at this moment. I'd have worked less when the kids were little. I routinely worked 55 hours a week, and no, we didn't get overtime. I've had a very successful career, but you can't buy that time back with money. I was always trying to prove myself to my dad and took until mid-30s to realize this was my life. I've always worked more than I should, but when the kids were little I should have had different priorities. Wish my dad had have said, son, slow down and enjoy the ride. I've told my kids only push that hard for you. Don't do it for anyone else and I'll love them no matter what. So far they are all doing well, but none are workaholics. Very grateful that stopped with me and I didn't pass it down. Also, the best way to love your kids is to love your spouse. It's your life. Live the life you actually want. Not the one you think you are supposed to. Try to be happy in the moment rather than focusing on the future too much. Good choices usually lead to more good choices. Try to make those, huh? I'm friggin' 60. Dang Amit. Let me tell you. Yep, I would have made a better attempt at being patient with my goals. I was all over the place with jobs. Actor, carpenter, cabinet maker, musician, teacher. I still use my skills, but I wish I stuck out my carpenter apprenticeship when I was younger. I enjoyed the variety. Probably a bit ADD. However, if I got more experience and learned more when I was younger, I would have done better. I did score a career in the telephone biz for 22 years or so. Good to have benefits and a pension. Go to the dentist at least once a year. Do some sort of exercise a few times a week. Just walking is enough. Quit Facebook. 30 years from now you can tell Redditors what you would have done differently. I think that walking is good, but not enough for a lot of people. You really need to get your cardiovascular system pumping hard for a bit a week, and walking casually doesn't do that for most people. Speed walk, folks, and seriously, go to the dentist. It may be hard to afford a cleaning and x-rays without insurance, but it will be far cheaper than getting a filling. I can only hope you do not judge harshly. What I would have done differently is not think sex was love. I know now that at the time, I did not think someone could love me for me. I can also understand now that foster homes and then super strict upbringing from age 11, and lol, having my early life void of affection. I laugh now because it is heavy stuff. But I've come a long way, baby. So I gave of myself when I did not have to. Lots of good guys. But they did not stay around long. Crying, but I have forgiven myself. I am a genuine, caring, giving woman. I guess I just want females to know that you can have love and guy friends without giving of your body. Sex is not love. I hope you understand what I tried to convey. Just because it was your dream job doesn't mean you should stay for emotional abuse. Asked my mom. Here's her advice: stop getting married so young. Live your dreams because it's harder once you're married and have a family. You're dumb through your 20s. 30 and up is marriage time. And if you don't like children, don't have them. The world is messed up enough already. Choose your life partner wisely. Or don't choose one at all. Travel provides a better education than anything you can learn at school. Life is short. Pack as much into it as you can. Going the prescribed path isn't worth the stress of living an unexamined life. One of my teachers in high school said this when she retired: always make decisions for yourself. What would be best for you? Choosing things according to friends, relationship and family will cost you opportunities and you will have regrets. They may support you for a while at your low, but if your entire life becomes a mess they won't be able to help you. I wasted too much of my life being critical and angry. I finally decided to spend that energy for good. I learned to look for the good in everybody. It's there. And the anger disappeared. I'm very joyful now. And when you seek the good in others, and you'll find it, they pick up the attitude and do the same. See, one person can make their corner of the world better. One of the earliest lessons you learn as an adult is that you have regrets. That's a heavy burden. Make whatever atonement you can. Then forgive yourself and let it go. Nobody can turn back time and change what happened. Let it go, and step forward into a joyful life. Well, there's my tale of regrets and choices. If you have a choice, spend money on experiences, like traveling, instead of spending money on things to acquire. Likewise, if given the choice to experience something new or staying at home where it's safe, experience something new. The best advice I could give a younger person is to learn to be flexible. I had this idea that being older meant things would slow down and life would be more calm and predictable. Wrong. The chaos of life never stops, and when you're older you can't even take your existence for granted. The older people I know that struggle the most are stubborn. They can't roll with the punches and their world becomes small and depressing. I'm 61. Still got all the self-esteem issues going on that I had when I was a teenager. I'm writing this and I realize how fucking stupid I've been now that my life is destined to end sooner rather than later. So that's it. I should have stopped giving a fuck about how I appeared to others a long time ago. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.